Welcome to TGI Today, Kauai Island's only live newscast powered by AI. TGI Today focuses on local and relevant news content you can only get from the Garden Island. I'm Rose, and with me is James. Join us as we bring you the in-depth stories behind the headlines right here on TGI Today. On today's show, we'll cover stories about Miss Kauai veteran, endorsements in Kauai County Council race, and Wilcox Medical Center nurses taking their battle to the streets. Before we start, a big mahalo to Long's Drugs for sponsoring today's newscast. Visit your local Long's Drugs for your everyday needs and continue to make Long's part of your day. Now we're talking about Miss Kauai veteran and the heartwarming contribution made by the Kauai Line Dance Group. James, tell us about the $9,000 award presented by Jeffrey Caledo Jr. and the Line Dance Group.
Certainly, Rose. Retired U.S. Air Force General and Kauai Veterans Council Commander Mary Kay Hertog was surprised by the generous $9,000 donation made by Jeffrey Caledo Jr. and the Kauai Line Dance Group during a recent meeting at the Kauai Veterans Center.
Let's move on to the installation of Miss Kauai veteran. What's the story behind that?
Following the donation, the 2024 Miss Kauai veteran, Kay Marie Alvarez, was installed. Alvarez, a student at Waimea High School, was chosen by the Kauai Veterans Council for her dedication to serving and empowering others.
And what role will Alvarez play in the upcoming Veterans Celebration?
Alvarez will be a key figure in the Kauai Veterans Celebration and will participate in the annual Veterans Day service, honoring and paying tribute to service members on November 11th.
A heartwarming story of generosity and service. Stay tuned for more updates. Coming up next, find out which candidates the Hawaii Lodging and Tourism Association is endorsing in the Kauai County Council race. Now for the latest news about the endorsements in the Kauai County Council race. The Hawaii Lodging and Tourism Association has revealed its endorsements for the upcoming election. James, can you elaborate on this?
Absolutely, Rose. The association is endorsing 6 candidates, including incumbents Bernard P. Carvalho Jr., Felicia Cowden, Ross Kagawa, Kipukai Kwali, and Mel Raposo, who serves as council chair. They also backed former councilman Errol J. Kaneshiro, who finished third in the primary election.
What can you tell us about the endorsements for state house and county races across the island chain?
The association also endorsed Kauai reps Nadine K. Nakamura, Luke A. Evslin, and Daynette D. Morikawa. They made sure to involve industry stakeholders and communities in the decision-making process.
How did the association make these endorsement decisions, and what is their focus for the upcoming election?
The association's president, Nufai Hammond, mentioned that the decisions were made after consulting stakeholders and thoroughly vetting candidates. They aim to support advocates for Hawaii's tourism industry who will work in the best interests of the community and economy.
Thank you, James, for shedding light on these important endorsements. Stay tuned for more updates on the 2024 general election. Coming up next, Wilcox Medical Center nurses take their battle to the streets. Now we're delving into the recent picketing by nurses at Wilcox Medical Center in Lihue to demand safe staffing levels for quality patient care. James, can you elaborate on the reasons behind the picketing and the demands made by the nurses?
Absolutely, Rose. The nurses at Wilcox Medical Center are advocating for guaranteed nurse-to-patient ratios and safer staffing numbers in their new contract. Nearly 160 nurses represented by the Hawaii Nurses Association took to the streets to emphasize the importance of safe patient care.
Could you shed some light on the response from the management and the ongoing negotiations between the two parties?
Wilcox Medical Center's chief nurse executive, Darla Sabri, expressed the hospital's commitment to addressing staffing concerns and offering wage increases. The negotiations have been ongoing since May, with both sides aiming to find common ground for the benefit of the nurses and the community.
How does this picket relate to the recent settlement at Kapiolani Medical Center? And what implications does it have for the healthcare sector in Hawaii?
Great question, Rose. The settlement at Kapiolani Medical Center highlighted the importance of nurse-to-patient ratios, a key issue also raised by the nurses at Wilcox. The Hawaii Nurses Association president, Rosalie Agassiou, emphasized the need for safe staffing levels to ensure quality care without disruptions, setting a precedent for other hospitals to follow.
And that's all for today's coverage. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. That wraps up today's edition of TGI Today, the local and relevant news content you can only get from the Garden Island. Thanks for tuning in. For complete local news coverage, visit the Garden Island website, your go-to spot for staying up to date. See you next time.